Hi guys, hope all is well. I'm just going to do a video about what I'm seeing so far. So yesterday, super clean trade on Euro Pound. From this point, we did say one of the two things I said we were going to come back to this zone, excuse me, or head back down, or we're going to come back into here, and you can see we did actually just head back down. Now, I did have a buy in here and in this zone, and you can see we actually just wicked them out. I was able to get in another opportunity this morning, which is fine. So we had this big raid of the lows that came down. And what I was seeing on the 1 minute, I was seeing this big sell volume. So this is 7 o'clock. So this is pre-London moves. You can see we had a big liquidation of all of these lows in here. And we actually had a final run of this final low in here. And you can see just off the 1 minute, when we had this big selling pressure, I did see price heading back up, and so far we were seeing equal highs within here, and these were already waiting to be taken potentially. So from this big last down move in here, I took 50% of this zone, and you can see this blue line here. This is where the 50% is. And we have a really nice demand zone, which lines up with that 50%. So I was just waiting for a test. I only had a very small order on this. So 3.5, and it was actually 3 pips. And then it was actually just to run up and take it up into this high. And you can see that was a nice one, just under a 1 to 8 gain. So what we lost on these two trades is already made back just on this small 1 minute move. And you don't always have to be catching big, crazy, like 100 pip moves. Sometimes I even catching just like a 20 pip, 10 minute move, as long as the risk to reward is good. That's all that kind of matters. So for now, I'm seeing a couple of things that could happen just because we had this raid and we had this big push move so far. I'm actually waiting to see if price is going to come and fill this order in here on this 30 minute, but then for us to actually take it back down and then potentially push higher. I don't know how high we're going to push, whether we could just flood. I'm still expecting high targets, so we could actually see that. That does not mean that we couldn't still come back up into these zones. One thing I'm noticing is we didn't actually break this low. We liquidated it, but we never actually broke it. So that's kind of given me a bit more conviction of things that I do want to see. So far, I am in this small trade at the moment. We had our pullback, we had our high break structure. Again, pulling our fib from our high to our low, because that's our buy range from this low to this high. Pull a fib. Our fib lines up really nicely with this last down move. Why is that last down move of significance? Because this was the low that caused this high to be broken. So we've had a test, we've had a sweep of just some small lows in here. Now and see if price is actually just going to continue with our up move. You can see on the 1 minute we do have this order here, which we could potentially run into, and then actually start pushing up a little bit higher. If we don't, failing that, I am still going to wait for this 30 minute to play out, and then failing that, if we do actually just break, then I'll just wait and see, and kind of just go from there. AU, not AU, sorry, gold. I've had some nice reaction of the area that I was looking at for last week. If you guys remember, even at the beginning of this week, I was looking at this zone to be tested. We did go through a previous trade on this, but there was a 30 minute. You can see this 30 minute was that last imbalance. So I wanted to see if we could actually get filled. And we did also run right into our 50 minute. I think we can see about on a 10. Yeah, so this last 10 minute move in here, remember when I said, even though this wick is actually tested, you can always have more than one test. And again, this is exactly what happened. We had that more than one test. So I am still waiting now if we can just get some follow on up with some higher prices. I'm still expecting 140, 1940, 1950, even potentially up to 2K to see if we could get some of those prices get met. That's quite a bold call and ask. So I will just wait and see. First targets being this supply zone here. So that's around, I want a 5. And then our second one to run in, I want a 14. And then if we do hit that, then potentially just see if we can let that run. But so far, this trade is actually doing all right. We are kind of shifting momentum a little bit. We are generating some highs within here. So I'm going to be interested to see if we actually can get that continuation and follow on. AU, this did what we said in the video as well. There was a half an hour. Yep, this is the last 30-minute move. We came down, we took out this low, we tested, and then we actually continued with our bullish movement. 7,000 and that 50% was an area which I did focus on last time in the last video. So now potentially if we could see price potentially come into these areas and then continue higher, or if we are actually just going to break and potentially go a little bit lower, we will see. GU, I was expecting price to come into a 20-minute move in here. I was looking to see if we were going to get this move and head back down and go higher. We didn't get that. That is fine. We did actually hit the target that I was looking for. I haven't actually really done too much on pound USD, but we could potentially see some momentum shift and movement going into the New York session. USD as well, still nothing super crazy happening on this. Was looking for this zone, we actually just broke it. That does not mean that we can't still push hard, because we are actually still currently within this kind of last sell to buy movement, which caused kind of a significant break. So far at the moment, we could just die off. That is a possibility. We could do that, and we could actually start heading back down into these zones. I'm still waiting to see if we can get this hourly met, but again, we'll see what happens. And Euro USD, again, nothing really that exciting. I was potentially looking for something off of this hourly, but I wasn't really too convinced, considering we didn't take this high. So if we had actually taken this high, that would have been something that I would have been looking for, but we didn't. We came down, and I don't really class this as a breaker structure, if I'm going to be really, really honest with you. This is our low, high, 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 low, high, high. So now realistically, this is what you would want to see as a break if prices actually really like continued lower. The 4 hour, we didn't actually break it on the 4 hour. I mean, we just kind of closed below, but considering price just went so strong and so bullish to the upside, it's kind of given me a bit of conviction that that wasn't really going to be a break. So now just want to see if, whoops, we can get these slight pullbacks and then continuations into 19,500 as our cycle level. Let's have a look. Oh yes, I'm just waiting for this high to be taken, but 19,500 is our next major half point, nice psychological level that we can in fact just see price run into. So I'm gonna wait and see what happens with that one. If you guys got any questions about these, please let me know. This is all I'm gonna kind of really do. There's nothing really too amazing, to be honest with you. Dollar, we ran the high, we started pushing lower. Yeah, there's nothing of any great excitement, if you ask me. But again, we will see what happens. Again, if you guys got any questions, please let me know. Feel free to fire away, and I will help everyone as much as I can. All right, guys. Thank you.